And we are live. This is Canada Hoops Daily live hangout. We're watching the USA versus South Sudan. My name is Sheldon Alexander. Thank you for tuning in to this another live hangout edition of the podcast. We're watching USA basketball. This is going to be a theme throughout the summer. You'll notice on this channel, wherever you happen to be watching this right now. First off, thank you for tuning in. Secondly, just know, we'll be doing these live watch-alongs for Canada games, USA games heading into the Olympics. And, I want to watch a USA game just because, it's the best basketball players in the world. Why wouldn't you want to watch every chance you get to see Steph, to see LeBron, as LeBron throws down a nasty, nasty slam? But the reality is, love watching basketball. So let's watch basketball as a family. As mentioned, this is Canada Hoops Daily presents the USA versus South Sudan live watch party, live watch hangout. And you can find these watch alongs on YouTube under the Sheldon Alexander feed. Again, the Canada Hoops Daily page is no longer going to be a thing. So all of the video for the Canada Hoops Daily brand will be featured on the Sheldon Alexander page of YouTube. One thing to mention here as Team USA, it's South Sudan, right? So we know what's going to happen in this game. It's going to be blowout city, but the goal is still, much like it was for Canada's game yesterday, is you just want to be able to see what this team is able to do together, what this team is able to, how they're able to gel heading into the Olympics, because they're going to have some tough matchups, right? Like we watched Canada and France yesterday. France is a solid team. Canada is a solid team. So if you're the US, you got to make sure your P's and Q's are in order, because it's not going to be as easy as you think in terms of winning the gold medal, right? It doesn't work that way. It's not that easy as it was before. You kind of need to be able to figure some stuff out and also know that the rest of the world is so close to you now, right? Like the rest of the world is catching up. So these are just Olympic tune-ups, right? We watched the U.S. versus Serbia game a couple days ago. That one was an all right game too. But I feel like the U.S. are still trying to figure out their starting lineup, right? Like this is another starting lineup. You got Booker. Oh, no, this was a starting lineup they had against Team Canada, right? They had Booker with Steph and Drew Holiday, Joel Embiid, and LeBron. Still no Kevin Durant. And I know that some people, I guess might be not really the same because there's no contract scenario going on with Kevin Durant as there is with Jamal Murray. But Canadian fans are kind of worried because Jamal Murray hasn't played yet. And yet for the US, as Embiid like does his floppy Joel Embiid thing. But Kevin Durant still hasn't played. And I don't think there's anyone really worried about Kevin Durant his availability for Team USA as the Olympics come closer, and he's practiced. We've been seeing the videos of that as well. So you just got to keep that moving, right? And I think if you're Team USA, I mean, obviously they don't need Kevin Durant at all, but I'm just talking about the fact that he hasn't played in any of these tune-up games, and that's all right. Doesn't matter. What matters is making sure you get to the podium. So Joel Embiid has been a huge topic of discussion as he misses a free throw there because he's struggled so far in Olympic play. And Anthony Davis and Bam on the flip side have played so well. So that part's kind of interesting as South Sudan knocks down a three. Big bucket there. But Embiid has looked, see, even on that play, like he looks just like gimpy all the time. Like on that post up, I don't know. I think he just bully balled the dude, but I don't know if that's even should be a foul on Embiid. I'm not going to put that on him too much, but he just looks so gimpy. Like there's no flow to his movement. Ah, no, I take that back. He did push him. It's weird watching Joel Embiid play. Like it looks like he's about to break at any moment. I know Philly has like high hopes for this season, bringing in Paul George, but yeah, I don't really know how this is gonna go. Anyways, a lot of talk still about the fact that there's no Jalen Brown, which is pretty funny, but I get it. Three Boston Celtics being on the team, none of them being the finals MVP, who's clearly their second best player. I get it. I understand why you'd be mad at that. But the reality is that if you're Jalen Brown, I mean, we know the Nike thing is a thing, right? Like it's always a thing. It's always has been a thing. It's always gonna be a thing. Oh wow, another three here. South Sudan keeping up here. 13-11. Luol Deng, I'm pretty sure, is the head of their like basketball federation, and he's done a really good job in building this. Steph, like keep paying attention to this for Team USA, right? When times get tough, it's two-man games, Steph and LeBron. And that's really why we're watching this, right? Like how often do we get to see something like this? And I mean, South Sudan is scoring because this USA team is not playing defense, right? And this is where you use these games to figure out, okay, we can start Embiid, but we're not going to play him fully, right? But with LeBron and Steph out there, that's why Drew Holiday plays, right? Because he's going to play defense on the perimeter. But you need Anthony Davis in the middle if you're the US beside LeBron, because you need a defensive presence. And Joel Embiid just isn't really that at this stage of his career. Oh wow. Yo, South Sudan is not shook. These guys are step back, jacking threes. USA really trying to get Embiid involved too, feeding him inside a lot. What do we got here? Timeout. Looks like full subs coming in for the US. Look at this dunk. Like it's like all-star game defense there from Steph and LeBron, which like, I get it. It's not like they're gonna be out here really going ham here trying to, you know. Let me see if I did this correctly here. All these live stream settings, always trying to make sure everything's all right on all the feeds here. But yeah, send in your comments and questions, as we watch any of these games. As mentioned, we'll do the Canada games, we'll do the US games, and just going to watch some ball, talk basketball. We did a live pod, a reaction pod to the Canada France game. So if you're looking for that recap, wherever you find your podcast, search Canada Hoops Daily on Apple and Spotify. And as mentioned on YouTube, go to Sheldon Alexander and you can see it's like a quick 30-minute recap of what happened in the game. So we did the watch along and then we did the podcast after for the folks that might have missed the game, or a recap to kind of break down everything that happened in a nice, concise, wrap up. US with full subs here. You see Halliburton, Ant-Man, Bam, Jason Tatum, and Anthony Davis. Like that's a pretty legit second unit. South Sudan takes the lead 18-16 and timeout USA. South Sudan fired up. Right, as I said, they're not shook, man. They're not shook. They're hype. Luol Deng has these boys ready. Getting out and running. Right, and that's a thing, we talked about it with the Canada game as well. If you play defense and you get out and run, you're putting pressure on the other team. You're forcing them to play defense. And that's not what a lot of these like NBA dudes want to consistently do. And that's why it's so important when you're watching Canada and seeing how well they played defensively and doing different things, like seeing the buy-in that Jordy has been able to get from these guys, getting them to, I mean, like think about it, getting these guys to full court press. That's crazy, right? But here we are because that's just how good Canada is right now, and the spot that Jordy Fernandez has them in, like they're doing it. They are doing it. All right. All right. South Sudan building. There's Luol Deng on the bench. Shout to Luol Deng, man. Luol Deng was a good, solid NBA player. All right. I'm gonna check for this. So this guy's committed to Duke next year or this year? Like, is he play with Cooper Flag? Is that gonna be a thing? Is that the duo? Wow. US runs a set to get Anthony Davis to touch inside, but South Sudan, like these guys are active, right? Careless turnover from USA. Royale Ivy, let's go. Another. So he's a head coach. All right, all right. Who's that guy beside him? That guy looks like he's an assistant for. He just looks familiar. Hmm. You got to look up South Sudan's coaching staff here. The U.S. stepping up their defense. Bam with the massive slam. Tie the game. This game's tied after one quarter. If you're South Sudan and you're tied with or like down two to the US after one quarter, that's a that's a pretty good, moral victory right there. These guys are balling. Ant-Man is shooting this for sure. If he passes this, I'm going to be stunned. Oh, yeah, he got doubled though. Halliburton on the drive, can't get the floater. South Sudan leading 20-18. Big three. A 5-point lead for South Sudan, 23-18 over Team USA. Ant-Man is going to start not passing the ball soon. Right now, he's playing nice. He's trying to run sets. USA looks just pretty stagnant, right? And this is where Team USA's of the past have struggled, because this is where you need the Chris Paul, you need the uh, Jason Kidds, right? You need your point guard to really run an offense, run sets, get your team set up, get you into the right positions, know where the ball's going to go. Like this is just a lot of standing around, right? One-on-one play. The defense, all five guys are focused in on the ball, so your one-on-one iso ball isn't really going to work in this scenario, right? And if you're USA, you got to start running some plays. You got to have some ball movement, right? And again, I mean, listen, it's a pre-Olympic tune-up or Olympic friendly, however they want to phrase it. I understand, right? Like this, it's not like USA is stressing this game. But what I will say is when you get to the real tournament and you play some of these real teams, it's not as easy as you think it is. It's just not. A minute left in the first quarter. 4-point game. Ant-Man defense, right? That's how it's got to be. That's how it's got to be if you're US. You got to play defense, full court press, turn these guys over, not foul, but right? Like Anthony Edwards, we know you can do that, right? Like full court press, my guy's not crossing you over like that. "51 seconds left here." Wow, third JT Thor. Like they got a lot of guys getting drafted here. Right? But this is what I'm talking about. Like, look at these sets. Everyone's just kind of standing around. Like, look how hard that Ant-Man's working to try to get a shot. I don't know. Like, I should explain this better, right? There's just no flow to the offense. And when you're allowing the defenders to stand and be able to watch the ball and their man because guys are just standing in the corner, there's no movement. You're just making the defense's job super easy. And especially you're playing a team like South Sudan with athletes that are able to, be quick. Even if you get beaten, they can jump and block shots. This is what they have to do: press. Better job beating the press this time. And they just keep playing US undisciplined defense, and you give up a layup on the other end. South Sudan, 26-24. Ant-Man shooting a three here. Right? Like, it doesn't go. Shot waved off on the putback. South Sudan leading 26-24 after one quarter. I mean, not the start Steve Kerr envisioned, but here we are. I mean, obviously, first quarter, US will figure this out eventually because, as you saw, right, the key here is really just to pass the rock, right? See what's going on there, pass the ball around, make sure that you're sharing the ball. Let me see here. Let me tweet out a link to the pod here after one quarter. South Sudan leads Team USA 26-24 after one quarter of play. Do I have a USA basketball box score somewhere? USA South Sudan box score. Let's go. Oh, that's interesting what they have here. They have live updates, but it's like tweets. It's very odd. It's basically like an aggregator of all of their reporters. They basically aggregate that into an article. It's like, yo, I just want a box score, man. Is this so complicated? Because it shouldn't be that complicated to just give me a box score of the game. But here we are, right? Anyways, let me do this on the other account. I wonder what the odds were, the gambling odds were for South Sudan to be leading after one quarter, right? Like, probably had to be very good odds. South Sudan leads Team USA 26-24 after the first quarter of play. And this game's in London, right? It's an interesting one. South Sudan, really, too, the key, as you're seeing right now, has been their 3-point shooting, which I mean, you wouldn't expect that to continue, but it's definitely a great start for them, right? Oh. Trying to find a link. Second quarter underway. Team USA still rocking with their bench here. South Sudan splashing another three. Yo. South Sudan shooting the lights out here. I wonder if your Team USA, like, they're trying to go inside Anthony Davis bully ball, and it's not really working. Tough shot. Wow. Tough jumper over Bam. South Sudan leading 31-24. And the reality is, right? USA, yes, they have their low scoring, but eventually to actually win. And I'm making a grander point, not against South Sudan, who keeps knocking down threes. My point is, it's going to be defense, right? And it doesn't look like they want to play defense as South Sudan's just cooking. Ant-Man, pass the ball, bro. Good steal there from Tatum. Ant-Man just jacking up shots, and it's not going well for him. This is a tough shot by Jones over Bam. And then that's just an open shot, right? Like, that's just bad defense from Team USA. South Sudan now up. Will people fall for the troll here? I'm tweeting out South Sudan now up 34-26 versus Team USA. Canada would never. Tatum to the free throw line. Jones, like, again, guard play. This is why people wonder why Drew Holiday's on the team, right? You need dudes that play defense. Anthony Davis is trying hard. He's just not getting his like post game to go in. South Sudan tracking down offensive rebounds. They got Team USA scrambling. And, Kerr is still running with these hockey subs. Kerr's running with these hockey sub lines. And it's like, at some point, you're just going to have to amalgamate these two units because Joel Embiid shouldn't be on the first line. It should be Anthony Davis beside LeBron. But also, like, I don't know if Booker should be in that starting lineup either. Although I still wonder where Kevin Durant fits into this, right? Maybe Booker is Kevin Durant. I don't know. Either way, you got to figure out because you have to have some guys that play defense. Kerr making subs. It looks like the starters have come back in for Team USA. They're trailing 36-28 to South Sudan. It's so interesting, right? Because you keep telling people, and it doesn't really happen until you watch enough international basketball to understand how different it is. Like the the NBA game is just so based on iso ball and one-on-one play, and you kind of stand around and watch one guy play, and you realize how much easier it is to play defense against that when you watch international style and there's so much more ball movement. Everybody's cutting, everybody's shooting, everybody, is rebounding. There's just so much more movement. It forces you to actually play. Like, is South Sudan about to be up double digits on Team USA? Let me look at what the gambling odds are right now on this game. And this is where you're going to see LeBron, Steph bully ball, right? Like, that's what's going to happen here. Also, big news: the USA, like the WNBA game tonight, their All Star game is going to be awesome. The USA women's team versus the WNBA All Stars. Horrible defense from Embiid there, and a hard foul. And this one, I'm like, I don't know if Joel Embiid can play. Oh, was there no lines on this game? There had to be, right? Yo, this spread right now, I'm looking at this, is still 23 and a half for Team USA. And they're down 10. But listen, we're going to enjoy how interesting it is while it lasts, right? But the reality that we're learning, right, just from watching it, that there's hoopers everywhere, right? Ball is life everywhere. And building these different leagues around the world, having someone like Luol Deng and Royal Ivy to like head up their infrastructure of what they're doing here and putting this team together. You see that they're getting guys drafted into the NBA, guys are going to Duke, like they're building something here. And so you're in a position where these guys are playing and they're not afraid about playing USA, right? Like the stories of the dream team and like guys begging for autographs from MJ as Booker turns it over. South Sudan 12-point lead for South Sudan. Yo, Steph, no good. Oh, Embiid just tossing bodies because that's what Embiid does. This is where Steve Kerr's got to start coaching, though, right? And like figuring out your starting lineup. Like, this is not it. Booker gets blown by again and one. The USA are getting blown out. No, I shouldn't say that. It's just 14. I shouldn't say they're getting blown out, but they can't get stops. So when people, even Jaylen Brown, right? And you're like, hey, why is Drew Holiday there over me? You need guards who play defense. It's the same thing as the actual Boston Celtics team. South Sudan's not scared. Up 43-28 on Team USA. The same Team USA. Oh, Embiid with the bucket. Here comes Steph. And this is what you got to do too, right? You got to get out and run. You got to try and get easy baskets, but they can't get the bucket in transition. And this is a thing, like Embiid, what was that? Yo, what is going on, man? Seriously. Embiid just threw a behind the back bounce pass. I got to tag Webster on that one. Maybe Joel Embiid is a mole. Like he decided to play on Team USA to sabotage them. Maybe that's it. I just realized as I look at this stream that when I'm looking down at the screen typing, and this is why, for people who don't know, I talked about it on the other pod, but I was setting up my office/studio and then the flooding happened in Toronto. And so now my office is just a mess. So I got to set it back up. So that's why you're seeing this different setting. But the annoying part is as I'm looking down and on my computer, it looks like my eyes are closed, but really I'm typing on my computer. I look like Trump or Biden at their never mind. I'm just gonna let that one slide and not elaborate on that point. Either way, South Sudan up 13 points right now, 5 minutes left in the first half. And South Sudan, like, here's the thing. They're playing solid defense for South Sudan, and the US is just not playing defense, right? It will be like social media will be hilarious if somehow, and I don't think the US is going to lose this game. That's not what I'm saying. As I'm looking at this spread, the in-game spread is now 17 for Team USA. But what I will say is I'd be here for all the jokes if somehow Team USA lost this game to South Sudan. What are we reviewing right now? I don't understand what we're reviewing. Kevin Durant, like, it's so funny thinking that you still have Kevin Durant as an option to just like toss out there. Just one of the best players in the world, chilling. I don't know what the call is. I don't know what they're reviewing for so long, but I feel like reviews should be banned from basketball. It just slows the game down so much. It's USA ball. LeBron playing point guard. US 1 of 11 from 3, South Sudan 6 of 13. That's definitely part of the issue here in this game right now. But also like, you know, one of the things that plagued Team USA for so many years was not having a point guard, right? And that's why you saw the importance of when they had that team, the LeBron and Kobe team, they made sure Jason Kidd was there, right? They started implementing like we know that we need a vet point guard around to run our sets, to get the team in order, to make sure we're getting guys the right spots and getting them the ball in positions to succeed. You know, you had Jason Kidd, you had Chauncey Billups, you had Chris Paul. Like there's a long line of making sure you had those point guards. And we don't really make those anymore in the US, do they? Right? It's interesting to see, right? Halliburton, I guess, would be the closest to that, but that's obviously not Steph. It's not Drew Holiday, right? It's not Devin Booker, but those guys and add in LeBron, and those guys get painted as being point guards, right? In like a certain lens. Obviously, we know Devin Booker's not a point guard, but like they went into last year on the Suns talking about Devin Booker playing point guard. So I don't know. I find it very interesting, but we'll see how this plays out. You're at a point too with Team USA where you know you're not just gonna like you got to play some defense. That's really what it comes down to. So if you're Kerr at this point, you're finding the guys because all your guys can score, right? And I saw someone talking about this the other day. Was it D Wade? I think it might have been D Wade on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Mello and Mero. But they're just talking about how some of these other teams were built and how you had like Tayshaun Prince on some of these teams, right? You had Michael Redd, like not necessarily star players on the team, but you know, it was more so you had a couple guys that didn't mind not playing, or if you needed them to just come on for like 10 minutes and play defense, run around, chase around the other team's best player, you could do that. Team USA in this instance, if you're looking at a defensive lineup, like we saw Ant Man turn the guy over once, but I still think it should be some level of Drew Holiday, Steph, Ant Man, LeBron, and I would say Anthony Davis. And I know that means Kevin Durant's coming off the bench, but you need defense, right? And like, hey, maybe Ant Man comes off the bench and KD starts, but that means you're asking KD, LeBron, and Steph to play defense. Steve Kerr looks shook, as he should be. Embiid milking the free throw line as only Joel Embiid can. That's my story I'm going with now. Maybe Joel Embiid's a mole. They planted him to be there to ruin Team USA. Maybe that's it. I'm seeing on Twitter people are posting the Joel Embiid behind the back turnover. South Sudan isn't slowing down. I don't like I don't know, man. Watching Joel Embiid play basketball is just not a fun experience at all. It just isn't. Embiid just like we're just watching Joel Embiid shoot free throws and like he gets the ball in the post, go up strong and dunk it, but he's not that athletic anymore. Like Joel Embiid looks broken down. He really does. And it's interesting because normally guys go play for Team USA and they look better, but he just looks really, really slow. And maybe it's because the style of play is more up and down in international play. I don't know. This is what they got to do, though: get rebounds, get out and run. South Sudan does a good job getting back. And look at the defense they're playing. LeBron turns it over this time. South Sudan turns it back over, and they can't have those issues, right? You get the gift, you get the turnover from LeBron, but I guess on the flip side, you're South Sudan. You gotta try to make some plays, and I guess making some plays will sometimes cause turnovers if you're South Sudan. I don't know if the move for South Sudan is to double team Joel Embiid with Steph Curry on the floor. That just might not be a good strategy. Joel Embiid wants to try to shoot free throws the whole game. I'd kind of let him because I think that makes the rest of Team USA weaker because they're just standing around watching him. But I'm just a dude on my couch. I don't know anything. Oh, 45-33. South Sudan. I keep checking the odds because I like seeing what the spread is still set at here. It looks like they've actually taken the game. Oh no, 15 and a half for Team USA at this point. And here's the thing, right? Steph's got to guard bad defense again. One guy gets beaten, and then that draws too many US defenders. It's an easy layup for South Sudan. They are flocking Joel Embiid. And you know what? Maybe I was wrong. There we go. I was wrong. I said maybe doubling Joel Embiid is not the right idea. And clearly I was wrong as Joel Embiid just handled that double team as terribly as one possibly could, turning it over to South Sudan. No. Yo, my guy hits a falling fadeaway jumper. South Sudan, 15-point lead before Braun answers at the other end. And again, when USA needs a bucket, it's going to be Braun, Steph, bully ball. Turnover, South Sudan. Probably could have been a foul. Drew Holiday lay in. US needs that a lot more. Timeout. Good timeout there from South Sudan. 49-38. We have a ball game here, folks. It's funny, right? Hold on, let me mute this mic here while I cough. It's funny. You think US versus South Sudan, it's probably going to be a US blowout. Got to get to the game early to see, like, when the game's actually close and the US is going to try. And Team USA is just flat out losing. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Not kind of crazy. It is crazy. I don't know. Team USA, this is why Steve Kerr, if you're Steve Kerr, you're getting the big bucks right now, right? Because you have what's supposed to be an easy job or what everyone assumes is an easy job, but maybe it's not that easy. I'm just gonna start trolling on Twitter and writing stuff like Dylan Brooks broke Team USA, just so that just to mess with people. I wonder why. I do want to know though, why is it that Joel Embiid has to start? Talked about this a bit last pod, but I really do think that there was a deal made where Joel Embiid has to start. It's the only explanation. I got to see how what my guy Cuffs the Legend is saying here because I know he's got to be watching this game and just laughing. Oh, here we go. I said the same thing. Joel Embiid might be a double agent, right? Yo, I swear I said this. Well, I don't have to I'm on a live mic, so we could just rewind it. I did say this. Where would this rank on the list of all-time basketball upsets? I mean, it's got to be the biggest upset, no? It would have to be. Ooh, USA Germany on Monday. So USA playing a bunch of games here. I guess it's also like this is a money making venture for them, right? Like this is how they make money leading into the US and I guess pay for all of this, right? Sell out arenas. See, so now we're starting to see some different lineups here. And this is what I was talking about. So we got Anthony Davis in for Joel Embiid. And this could be, we're getting a preview of a closing lineup, and it doesn't matter. South Sudan scores, anyways. There we go. Ball movement, quick passes, cutting. You got Booker with Ant-Man, Steph, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. Nobody can guard Jones. And, you keep wondering, wow, LeBron trying bully ball. They did call that foul late, but he did get fouled. Booker's out there, and I get it, but I feel like that's why the Drew Holiday spot has got to be there to stop guys like Jones. Like, you can't have LeBron on an island like that. Not at this stage of LeBron's career. But this is the stuff I want to see, right? Like what the pseudo closing lineups would be for Team USA when they feel like they're in trouble, as we're seeing here, right? And you see Drew Holiday exiting the starting rotation here. And obviously, Drew Holiday being replaced by Ant-Man, and you have Joel Embiid being replaced by Anthony Davis, which I'm sure there's a lot of USA fans who are happy to see that because people have been wondering what the heck Joel Embiid has been doing. This Jones guy continues to cook. Good defense from Anthony Davis, but a big shot. Yo, South Sudan, yo, I keep waiting for them to like miss shots, but it's just not happening like that. And Steph can't seem to get it going. Bad pass from LeBron. This is not going well for Team USA, but this might be the wake up call that they all need, right? And I'm really talking about like their team, but also Steve Kerr. So Kerr subbing out Drew and Embiid for Ant-Man and AD. They join LeBron, Steph, and Booker. Who started this game? Could this be the end of the Joel Embiid experiment? The Joel Embiid starter experiment, we'll call it. Listen, there's 20 seconds left in this half, and it's 58-42 South Sudan. And one LeBron. Bully ball, right? What was I saying? When Team USA is in trouble, they're going LeBron bully ball. LeBron like dipping his shoulder into my guy's chest. Like it just says no chance. That guy, it's like a straight like weight room like mismatch right there. Oh, Jones hit every other shot. Couldn't hit that one though. South Sudan leads 58-44 at the half. Great start from South Sudan. And I mean, we talked about the Olympics and some of the teams to look out for. I'm going to write down the score 58-44. We talked, though, about a bunch of the teams to look out for in the Olympics. And, other than Team USA, obviously people point to Team Canada. You know that, any team that has Giannis, obviously you have to look out for. We know France is going to be good. Spain is always a solid, like well-oiled machine. Australia is a solid team as well. And it's like, I don't know if people had South Sudan as one of those teams that they should be worried about. And yet, here we are. And South Sudan's at least showing that, like, if you're keeping up with USA, you're probably going to be a problem for some other teams here, right? I don't know. This is very interesting. And it's not even like you can say, oh, well, Team USA is not trying or they didn't play their guys. Like their whole team is their guys. But also, LeBron and company started. They've played. I don't know, man. This is very weird. This is very, 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 very weird. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. But Team USA struggling against South Sudan to start this game. Well, I mean, not even to start this game in the half. And it's all been just a lack of defense from Team USA or consistent defense. And listen, credit to South Sudan for hitting shots because they've made a lot of shots. They've shot the ball well from three. Team USA has not. But I think this might be a necessary evil for Team USA because people have been clamoring, wondering about these lineups. Maybe Kevin Durant should be trying to play and like get in, some form of reps before the tournament starts. But we keep telling people this isn't going to be the cakewalk everyone thinks it is. And I know we talked the other day. I was saying I was watching. It was Rachel Nichols and Keyshawn and Skip. I think we're talking about the US and how difficult it would be, and they're arguing about what qualifies as a blowout. And, it's just very funny because you could tell international basketball is such a different flex. And if people don't watch, you don't really get it. But like, you know, I bring up the Redeem team all the time because that Olympics was so crazy because those games against Spain were close games. Like those games were super, super tough games. And it came right down to the wire. And you needed like Kobe to like turn on the Mamba to win that game against Spain. Like the international game, it's way different than just, hey, we have all these guys that are really good and they're the best players. Like there's just more to it than that, you know? I don't know. Uh Back to trying to find a box score for this game, which I don't understand. Oh, here we are. Is this going to be up to date? Yeah, it looks like it's up to date. So, just in case people are wondering, the starters, like USA played their starters. And hold on, let me tweet out the link. South Sudan leads Team USA 58-44 at the half. LeBron leads the US with, I just had it up here. What did I say? LeBron James leads the US with 12 points. And who's my guy leading South Sudan? Mariel Shayok has 14 for South Sudan. I thought it was Jones making all the buckets for them, but I guess he's hitting the mid range, the twos, but Shayok has threes. What's South Sudan from 3-point land? As a team, 7 for 14 from three is South Sudan. Let's see here. South Sudan, what did I say? 7 for 14 from three. Seven for 14, 3 PT. While the US, last check I saw was 1 for 11. What do we think it is now? 1 for 12, Team USA. Damn. 1 for 12. That's not going to get it done, right? I mean, let's watch the second half together. Sorry, I'm just tweeting out a link here. Multitasking, unpolished, unapologetic. When you're doing these things on your own, you kind of got to do it all at the same time. But I thought it was important in those tweets because people are going to see that and they're going to be like, wait a second. So is LeBron playing? Like, who's playing? Who's not playing? And it's like, no, no, no. Everybody's in the lineup for USA. Well, except KD, but like, that shouldn't be the difference between you winning and losing by 14 to South Sudan. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, yeah, as I was saying here, right? Huge shouts to the people that are in the chat. Send in your comments and questions if you want to know what's going on in this game so far. If you're just jumping in right now at halftime, first off, salute to you. Thank you for supporting the pod. If you are watching, all we ask is bless us with a like, bless us with a share. That's how you support the movement. That is the Canada Hoops Daily program. This is a live hangout where we just watch the game. We talk about what's going on in the game. We share observations. We enjoy the game of basketball. We're doing this for Team USA games and Canada games where we'll watch and discuss what's going on in the games as it happens. We've been watching, we watched Canada or USA Serbia a couple days ago. We watched Canada and France yesterday. So yeah, stay tuned to the Canada Hoops Daily Network, and you'll get a bunch of content coming there repeatedly. You'll also get some podcasts. So yesterday we did the Canada France game. We watched the game. So you had that live stream up while we talked about that on the live hangout. But then following that live hangout, I did a quick 30-minute recap of the Canada France game. So if you want to know about that, just scroll up wherever you happen to be. You can find that video there. Or if you prefer audio, just go to Canada Hoops Daily on Apple or Spotify. That's where you get all of the audio for the Canada Hoops Daily stuff. For the video, you got to go to YouTube and go to the Sheldon Alexander page. That's how you keep up to date with everything going on at Canada Hoops Daily. We got these live hangouts. We got podcasts coming up. We got lots going on. But in terms of this game, the USA is struggling 58-44 at the half to South Sudan. And again, I mean, this game is crazy, crazy, crazy. And if you think about it, it's now a 10-point spread for the US. US still favored by 10.5 in this game. And at one point when they were down early, it was still 23.5. So yeah, that's interesting. And I mentioned the difference in this game so far has been the 3-point shooting, but I think that's only telling half the story, right? Because, yes, South Sudan, 7 of 14 from 3. That's 50%. Team USA, 1 for 12 from 3. But on top of that, I just think this is more about Team USA needing to figure out their rotation. Who are the guys that you depend on to get buckets? Who are the guys you depend on to get stops? Like, what do you contribute? We know everybody on the team is good, but in this instance, it's about what can you do in your role and identifying the roles. Because everybody on this team can get buckets, but you don't need everybody to get buckets. Because especially in a game like this, South Sudan, they're making you play defense. The US is not playing defense, and that's why they're down 14 at the half. And listen, South Sudan, oh, I see Bill Simmons tweeting out South Sudan is a problem. Like, listen, the US can make a run here. The US can come back and win this game, but I think the point has already been made that things aren't going to be as easy as you think they are because of the fact that South Sudan and, just a microcosm of what the actual Olympics is going to be, you have these other teams that are well ingrained in international play. Like they know how to play. It's a different style than the NBA, but also these teams are built in more so suited with roles. Team USA is still getting used to each other. And I mean, Kevin Durant is still a big part of this team and he hasn't played yet, right? So how's that going to go down? How's that going to play out? There's so many questions that lie ahead still because most people think that, you put together the best team and it's going to be easy. Like obviously Team USA is supposed to win gold and they probably will win gold, but there's still a process to it, right? There's still a matter of, well, are they going to get tested? How much are they going to get tested? How difficult is this going to be? And if this is, we saw Serbia when they played against Serbia on what day was that? Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. When we were watching that game, Serbia was right there, right? They just didn't really have the depth or athleticism to keep up with Team USA. And so that ended up being a struggle in terms of, would they be able to actually like overcome and like win, you know? Also, Joker by himself. I mean, Joker was there trying to put in the work, but it's just a lot for him. So now let's flip that over. And what's the difference between playing South Sudan? Well, South Sudan is just a longer team. They're more athletic and they're running up and down. And if you're going to do that and you're going to play with effort and run the floor and get easy buckets and try to force turnovers, the US, I mean, it's going to be tough for you. It's going to be tough. And the US hasn't checked in to play defense yet. So that's what's been their problem so far in this game. And the only reason it's only 14 is because of the fact that they've decided, hey, when it's bully ball time, we're going to LeBron. And LeBron has put his head down and gotten to the basket. I'm noticing it says LeBron has 10 points now, which I don't understand, but this box score has kind of been off if I remember back to the last game. But it's just a problem if you're Team USA. LeBron not really getting much help. Steph Curry struggled so far in this game, 2 for 6. They definitely need more from Steph. Um, I'm still interested in seeing, right? Like, you're showing Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Anthony Davis. A big part of what happened against Serbia was the tables flipped for Team USA. They were able to extend the lead because you brought in this second unit. Anthony Davis was a beast on the defensive end, blocking shots like a madman. But then on the offensive end, they're able to get buckets and keep things going, keep things moving. And that was really the difference between, a close game against Serbia and them struggling. So you look at this game and I mean, Steve Kerr's like drawing stuff up. Steph's not even like paying attention, right? Steph's like out of the huddle. Steph looks like he's ready. And this is where pride comes in, right? Like if you hear the excitement in my voice, it's not because I'm excited Team USA is losing and I think they're going to lose. There's the excitement in my voice because they're now forced to play, right? Like they now have to play because they don't want to lose. And this is an interesting look here that we're seeing from Steve Kerr. To start the second half, he's going with the bench unit to start. Is that making a statement to the starters? Right? Like, I wonder what's going on here. And I mean, because it's exhibition, he can just say, oh no, we had this planned and this is how it's going to be. And we don't want to play these guys too much before the actual Olympics. They got one more game on Monday, and he can make all these excuses. But what it looks like is that you're playing your bench now, which again for Team USA shouldn't matter. Playing your bench against South Sudan, you still should win. But you're starting the second half with Tatum, Derek White, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, and Bam Adebayo. Interested to see how this will work. Derek White being put in the lineup for Halliburton. Also, I think this is a good move here, putting Bam and AD in together because that's how you can make up some lead by playing bully ball, dominating the paint, getting on the glass. Interesting stuff here from Steve Kerr, who starts the second half with AD, Bam, Ant, Tatum, and Derek White. Had to double check the spelling of Derek White's name because, there's a lot of different ways you could spell Derek, and I wasn't sure which way you spell it. Derrick. So interesting stuff here from Kerr, who starts second half with AD, Bam, Ant, Tatum, and Derek White down 14. I wonder if this was a plan or is he trying to make a point because the starters didn't really play well? Or is he just mixing things up? I don't want to be too hyperbolic here, right? It is just a friendly. Whoa, yo. I mentioned that they were obviously playing AD and Bam. You're supposed to dominate the paint, but my guy comes out of nowhere and dunks on his own team and Anthony Davis for a putback dunk. Tough shot there from Tatum. He can't get that to go. Look at this putback though. Damn, all over AD. Nobody boxing out. I don't even know whose guy that is either. Tatum's looking around like, whose dude is that? The internet is starting to make its jokes, and it's pretty funny. I got to send this one to someone. I'm not going to read it out loud on the pod because, yeah, I like my job. But the internet is going crazy right now, as it should. And if Team USA, it's a 10-point game, right? So obviously, 8 minutes left in the third quarter. 10-point lead is nothing. Sorry, 9-point lead is nothing. Huge block from AD. But if you know how things work in 2024, the internet is going to get these jokes off. Yeah, that scoop layup isn't going to work on AD. Uh, for people unaware, Jalen Brown, tweeted a couple days ago. He tweeted, "I'm not afraid of you or your resources." People are assuming that was in reference of him tweeting that to Nike for Nike holding him off the team. That's a terrible bucket let up there by Jason Tatum. But someone quote tweeted that and said, "South Sudan to Team USA. I'm not afraid of you or your resources." I'm here for all the Twitter jokes. Ant-Man knocks down a three, and here comes Team USA. 8-point deficit now. And hey, maybe Kerr knew what he was doing, right? The second unit getting a chance. Oh, they called travel. Okay. I thought they called a foul there. Ant-Man, that one's easy. But look at Derek White, right? Derek White essentially playing point guard here, right? Just finding Ant-Man for the open three. The threes not falling as consistently for South Sudan as like obviously they wouldn't because it's not really possible to keep hitting threes at a 50% clip. Bully ball from Anthony Davis. I feel like when you see this AD, I feel like that's when he gets the LeBron gas. LeBron gets all hyped on him and tells him like they can't stop you. South Sudan's starting to feel the pressure. You can tell. And look at Derek White, right? Derek White is just doing basic point guard stuff. Great job there by Team USA, big to big. It looks like they're running sets, right? And Derek White driving in the lane, forcing the help, getting other guys touches. That's just Anthony Davis bully ball. Nothing Gabriel. I wonder if that's the guy that played on the Raps a couple years ago. Yeah, Way in Gabriel. I'm pretty sure he was on the Raps a couple years ago. Yeah, some of these names on South Sudan, right? Looking familiar. Looking familiar. Team USA, I mean, the amount of times you're gonna see that Joel Embiid pass behind his back out of bounds, it's gonna be amazing. I don't know, man. Dylan Brooks really broke Team USA. Just saying. Just saying. What do we got here? The score currently USA making a push. South Sudan, I mean, at this point, if you're South Sudan, you just got to call a timeout. You got to try to settle things down and go back to the things that worked for you in the first half. Like, yes, you hit a lot of threes, but you're getting a lot of ball movement on offense. You're getting dribble penetration into the paint. You're heavy on the glass, playing defense, you know. Those are the things you gotta stick to if you're gonna hope to continue to keep this a close game if you're South Sudan. What do we got going on here? I want to see like when the starters come back in, or does Kerr just rock out with these guys because they brought the team back? I also think here, as we're seeing AD get busy, it just points more and more to why is Joel Embiid playing, right? Like, I mean, clearly Joel Embiid should not be the top big man option for Team USA, right? We're seeing that now. It's apparent now. Would we all agree with that assessment? It's now a 4-point game, USA battling back. And that's what I mean. That's what I was really excited about, right? It wasn't the matter of like, oh, I think South Sudan's going to win. It's like, oh no, now we're going to be forced to watch the US actually play for real, you know? Oh, they needed that three. Not so fast, says South Sudan. See, that's not really Bam's game, right? You got to pass the ball. Good look out of the double team. Great job by Tatum. I think that was a good job. Tatum could have taken that three, but he didn't. He found Anthony Davis, who probably should have thrown down a dunk. The rim looks like it's off, by the way. Ah. So they got their big guy who could knock down shots. It's a good replay they just showed right there, right? So you can see the play. The big guy's going to fade out to the corner, and on the dribble penetration, Anthony Davis has to make a decision. You're obviously going to take the guy with the ball driving, but that leaves your man open in the corner. And if he's going to hit that three, you're going to have to live with it, right? Get some subs here from South Sudan. 65-60 is the score here. A reminder, all the people, huge shouts wherever you happen to be watching. If you are on the Instagram feed of Canada Hoops Daily, just know going forward, these live watch parties or what we're calling Canada Hoops Daily live hangouts, we'll be doing them on the Sheldon Alexander YouTube page. That will be where you'll be able to watch these. We'll be watching the Canada games together. We'll be watching the USA games together, depending on schedules, possibly even the Canadian women's games as well. It's a basketball summer here the next couple of weeks. So we're getting these tune-ups going as South Sudan knocks down another 3, and the lead is 8. I mean, they're not going down easy. They're not giving up this lead easy. But thanks for the people that are watching. And yeah, the Sheldon Alexander YouTube page is where you'll be able to find these streams going forward. So just a note to the people who are watching right now, if you're on the Canada Hoops Daily page, yeah, it'll be there sometimes, but not all the time. Make sure you go to Sheldon Alexander YouTube and subscribe there. That's how you'll be able to find this feed. And in comes the starters here. This will be interesting. So the bench did its part, right? The bench was able to bring the team back. I mean, they cut the lead from what was a 14-point halftime deficit to now 8 points. And starters are in now. And right away, we get a blow by and an offensive rebound. They don't call a foul. That could have been an and 1-3 hit by South Sudan. And it's funny, right? You bring the starters back, and it's the exact same things that plagued them in the first half that got them in the second half. LeBron will not let Team USA lose. That's what I'm seeing here. LeBron is just like, no, we're not losing this game. I respect it. Yo, that was a heat check from South Sudan. Look at Joel Embiid hustling. Great pass from LeBron. LeBron finding Drew Holiday on the cut to the cup. That's just horrible defense from Joel Embiid. What a pass by Braun. I really want to be a fly on the wall to hear like LeBron and AD, even Steph's comments on what they really think it is like playing with Joel Embiid. Because like they're watching, I mean, they're on the court, so they're seeing what we're seeing, right? LeBron bully ball. Whoa. He up faked too many times and got blocked. And LeBron is wondering, okay, so I got fouled at the other end. You didn't call it. And I don't think he did get fouled here. That's a clean block. Yeah, it looks like a clean block. But it still looks like it was a touch foul at the other end that they did call. And listen, Team USA bench started the third quarter. Team USA bench made up of here comes Steph. It's going to be Steph and LeBron for this starting unit. They know it. And that's the problem, right? Like the other team knows it. Everybody knows it. It's like they got to balance out this lineup. I think Drew has to stay to play defense, but Booker and Embiid, I'd get them out of here. A nice set run there to get Steph an open look. LeBron gladly obliges. 76-68. Steph can't hit the three. Embiid taps it back out. I mean, LeBron so looked off Embiid right there. Yo, I'll give Embiid this. Like, Embiid is trying right now. He's like hustling. You see him dive on the floor. He had that tap out. But on that last play, Embiid posted up and he's begging for the ball. LeBron looked him off. There's Drew, right? Doing what Drew does. That's why Drew's so important. LeBron throws down another big dunk and one, and now he's flexing. He's flexing for the crowd. Look at that play from Drew. Great hustle from Drew Holiday. That's what I'm saying. That's why he has to still play with those starters. It's a 5-point game. Steph and LeBron have taken over for this starting unit after they struggled for most of the first half, even in their stint in the second half. But LeBron and Steph here have done all the scoring. And then Drew Holiday playing defense. Look at the ref telling the USA bench to calm down. Like, get out of here, man. Sports is fun. Let them have fun. Imagine that you're telling the bench to sit down. Someone asked, "What do you think of the US performance so far?" Um, I think this will be very interesting to see what changes get made to their lineups going forward because it's becoming more and more apparent who the guys are that you can count on and what you're going to get from them and who you're not getting anything from. And you can see in this lineup, Steph and LeBron are basically playing a two-man game with each other. And then the other guys will get the ball when they get the ball. Big shot there from Drew. Wow, heat check there. South Sudan, that was a panic shot right there as it leads down to 3. Booker to tie. USA has come back to tie this game at 76. Booker hits the 3, 11-0 run for Team USA. 76-76. Can South Sudan hang on here? Oh, wow. The last 2 shots from South Sudan have not been good. They got to settle down. They've taken back-to-back just like hero ball type threes. I'm sure that's what Luol Deng's trying to tell them right now, like relax, settle down. But it's got to be tough, right? You were up 14, you're feeling good, USA struggling, and now you got LeBron and Steph turning into LeBron and Steph. Here we are. Bully ball. LeBron was trying to no-look pass again. Turnover from Embiid. Steph gets it back. Deep 3. Steph Curry. Yo. USA takes the lead. Steph with the deep dagger. Yo, Embiid. USA, a monster comeback there to close out the quarter. LeBron with the dump off to Embiid, who misses the layup and luckily taps in his own layup. Like, yo, if Joel Embiid had missed that, I think LeBron might not have passed him the ball again for the entire tournament. Right? Like LeBron only passed that to Embiid because he had to, right? If Embiid seriously missed that, like I really doubt it. Embiid, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's still just such a like bad look for Embiid. He's struggling so bad. But LeBron getting up there, right? And that's where, we talk about this stuff all the time about I know that with the heightened focus on gambling and stats, and you have people saying momentum doesn't matter. That play where US is still down 8 points and Drew Holiday dives, saves it to LeBron, who throws on a huge dunk. There's no way you can explain to me that Team USA doesn't feel momentum after that happens. Like you can't tell me that momentum is not a thing when that happens, right? You're watching it and you see LeBron James throw down that dunk, the crowd's getting hyped up. US finally has some energy, and then what happens after that? Steph Curry, LeBron, Steph Curry. USA leads heading into the fourth, right? I don't know. It's a super interesting thing. USA basketball doing their thing. That was a big comeback, and that's the stuff that gets me excited that I love watching, right? USA down 14. What would we see? How would they battle back? And you get, well, first off, they put up 37 points in the third quarter, a 16-0 run to end the third for the US. So you're down 14. Steve Kerr starts his bench unit. They chip away, cut it to 8. The starting unit comes back in, and then LeBron and Steph just take over. And that's why, I was excited. It wasn't about, oh, the USA is going to lose to South Sudan. It's like, no, no, no. Now they actually have to like turn it up. And that's what this is all about. Seeing the best players in the world be the best players in the world, right? 81-76 Team USA lead. South Sudan still firing away from three. I guess that's their style of play. South Sudan is not shy. They're still firing threes. 83-79. Listen, if you are in this Olympic tournament, you're getting put on notice. South Sudan is a team you got to watch out for. They're definitely not shook at all. Steph Curry continues his hot play in the second half. He's woken up. South Sudan's offense way more stagnant in the second half, right? Feel like there's a lot more movement in that first half. We're not really seeing the same movement that we saw from them in the first half. And of course, as I say that, buckets. What do we got here? 85-81. Oh, Gabriel Banks hit a three. If you thought South Sudan was just going to go down and just take this L and get blown out, no, sir. 85-84 after that banked in three. LeBron trying to answer. Let's go. Let's go. Yo. See, this is amazing, right? This is what I'm talking about. 19 points for LeBron. South Sudan still firing threes. I love this. I'm sorry. I love this. I'm a basketball nerd. I'm fully admit that. This is incredible. Look at LeBron. Bully ball LeBron. Bully brawl LBJ. 90-84. Travel. You could tell he wanted to pull up for three, but then tried to hezzy. Too much going on there. Just know if you are watching this feed right now on Instagram Live, that feed is about to go down. So make sure you head to the Sheldon Alexander YouTube page. To join us for the rest of the broadcast, go to the Sheldon Alexander YouTube page. Of the game with us, head to the Sheldon Alexander YouTube page. Big shouts, big shouts. And here's the thing. Team USA, LeBron is having fun. LeBron's like, okay, I did my part. We came back. We got the lead. It's not like we're getting blown out by South Sudan anymore. But at the same time, what a performance from South Sudan. I think that's the biggest storyline here from this game, right? If you didn't have South Sudan as one of the teams that could do damage in the Olympics, it's like maybe we should be readjusting here, right? Like maybe we should be trying to figure out just what some of these lines should be. I was looking at the basketball earlier. Let me see here. Futures. Olympics men's basketball. So, in order, South Sudan has the worst odds here with Puerto Rico. And if I'm looking at this from what I've seen, and here's the two things, right? The USA and the way that they played almost helps South Sudan because it's not like they're playing the structured style of play that you're going to see from teams like Serbia or Australia or Spain, Germany, right? Like those teams play a structured style of basketball, team basketball that will penalize you for not playing solid defense. Team USA doesn't really play like that, right? They're going to out athlete you, out talent you, right? So South Sudan is able to hang on here and keep this game close because obviously they're shooting mad threes. That helped them a lot. But also on defense, Team USA was making things easy for them. With that all said, I mean, I don't think that if you're South Sudan, there's no reason why, let me see what their group is here for basketball. No, I want to see futures. Here we are. To win group. So Canada's a favorite to win their group. Greece is second, then Australia and Spain. And South Sudan will play the US again in their group, right? Like they're in the same group. So you got, South Sudan's not going to win their group, but they're going to play Serbia and Puerto Rico. I'm pretty sure they might be able to give Puerto Rico a go. That'll be interesting, right? Those might not be familiar with the groups for the Olympics. Group A is Canada, Greece, Australia, and Spain. Group B is France, Germany, Brazil, Japan. Group C, USA, Serbia, Puerto Rico, South Sudan. So, I mean, everyone says Canada is it the group of death, and I get why people think that. Like, obviously, Greece has Giannis, and Australia's a solid team. Spain's always pretty good, but Spain is kind of in the downturn of what their team normally is. Like, they're still going to be solid. They're still okay, but it's not the same Spain team that we're used to seeing year in, year out, right? But Group B, France, we know they're a problem. Germany won the World Cup last year. They're really good. The Wagner brothers, Dennis Schroeder, they're solid. Brazil's pretty solid as well, right? Like Brazil has a pretty solid team. And then in the US portion, right? Obviously the US, but you got Serbia, who's we're talking Jokic, and Puerto Rico's solid too. Like I'd say Group C is probably the easiest, but then again, you're talking about the US in that group. But at the same time, like I don't really think that Canada's group is that much more difficult than Group B, right? But either way, we'll see. Olympics next Saturday, 3 p.m., Canada, Greece. So we'll be ready for that for sure. So it is now 91-86 for Team USA. They brought back in the bench unit that did so well to bring them back earlier. And now the bench is in with the lead, although the lead's been cut to 3 points. But you got Derek White, Tatum, Ant-Man, Bam Adebayo, and Anthony Davis. Be interested to see, like, if this game's still close, as the U.S. turns it over, we're going to see Kerr have to make a decision here on what the closing lineup is. Because this is still a 3-point game with 5.5 minutes left. Sorry, 1-point game. As South Sudan will not go away. Great play there from Derek White. Again, a lot of people are going to be like, why did Derek White end up on the team? This is why you need point guards, like point guards, guy who's going to be focused on passing the ball. You already have enough guys like Jaylen Brown. If you were going to take Jaylen Brown already, you would have taken him over a guy like Booker, right? Like you need Jaylen Brown. And I know this spot was supposed to be Kawhi's spot, right? And like, I don't know how that would have worked out, but it's almost a blessing for Team USA. Halliburton hasn't really looked that good. And so, you're struggling from the point guard position and you need point guard play. We talked about how important that was for Team Canada having Andrew Nemhard, right? Look at Derek White just drawing defenders, finding open guys. The shot doesn't go, but Derek White did his job. Oh, wow. Missed layup there for South Sudan. Oof, Jason Tatum with the left. That was nice right there. Jones has been really good for South Sudan, man. He's just not afraid. He's getting downhill no matter what. This is a 3-point game. Wow, Ant-Man misses. Was that Ant-Man or Anthony Davis? That was a bad shot, though. I thought South Sudan would fold after that run by Steph and LeBron. But here they are, cutting it to 3. Easy bucket there for Jason Tatum. Let's watch the end of the game together. South Sudan battling. Couldn't get that one to go, though. Good passing there. And that's Derek White, right? Again, Derek White being a point guard, you need your point guard to make plays like that. He could have taken that layup, but instead he dumps it down to AD. He knows AD's working hard, banging around in the paint, working hard. Gets him the and one. Great job there. And that's why Derek White is there. I thought South Sudan would fold after that run by Steph and LeBron, but here they are cutting the lead back to single digits. Join us for the end of the game. Credit to South Sudan, right? Like, I know they shot 50% in the first half. It's now down to 40%. They're 7 for 15 in the first half and now 5 for 15 in the second half, right? Um, the US improved a little, but I mean, that barrage from Steph really changed the game, turned the game over. And LeBron James leading the way with 21 points. Joel Embiid has 14 somehow. I don't know when that happened. Steph with 12, but it was a loud 12, right? Like, it was a loud 12 from Steph Curry because his shots were just completely game altering, back breaking. Like, I thought it was done. I thought they would be done. But credit to South Sudan. They didn't fold. They kept playing. And now you're watching a team that, instead of, I know it's South Sudan, right? So, like, your expectations are that, hey, if we could keep it close with Team USA, you're up 14 at the half. LeBron and Steph turned into LeBron and Steph in that third quarter, flip the game. And then, you're looking at these stats, and Joel Embiid's stat line is very, very fugazi. Like, I see the stats there, I get it, but he did not have an impactful 14-7. This is what I want to see, though. What is the closing lineup from Steve Kerr? Who are the guys that he trusts, right? And we're seeing this lineup here. There's 3 minutes left to go in the game. You're up 7 points. This is your crunch time lineup. This is your winning time lineup. And they're going with Derek White, rewarding him for playing really well in this game. If you think about it, Derek White was a third point guard, right? behind Drew Holiday and behind Tyrese Halliburton. He played well enough to take Halliburton's spot. And then now in crunch time, you're seeing him play with the other starters here, with Steph, LeBron, Ant-Man back in the starting lineup, or back with, the top lineup, and AD. We're into winning time here, folks. It's winning time. And what more do you want as a basketball fan? Watching Team USA, Steph and LeBron play together in a game where they have to actually play hard. They have to actually try here. Because, beating, look at that. AD, solid defense. And that's the difference, right? Remember, in the first half, those drives, he's getting past Embiid and getting those layups, getting to the basket. But you switch that up, and it's Anthony Davis, and that's a block. These are all things that, hey, if we're watching the game together, we were talking about it as it happened, right? Some of those plays where South Sudan's getting into the paint, Anthony Davis would eat up some of those shots that Joel Embiid's just unable to do so at this point of his career. I do enjoy watching LeBron just trying to find Steph as much as he can for threes. Like, we all know LeBron would have loved nothing more than to find his way to Golden State, right? LeBron able to alter that shot, sends the U.S. running the other way. No call. South Sudan the other way. Is that a 3 in transition? I think that might have been a 2. I think that might have been a 2. Oh, I can't tell. I can't tell if that's a 3 or 2. Do they review that? Oh, yeah, international ball. They will stop to review this, right? Either way, that's a big bucket. Like, listen, I just got a text message from one of my friends. Hold on, we're seeing the replay, and it is yeah, that's a 3. That's a 3. I just got a message with someone saying, I know this is exhibition, but this is shameful. I can't, like, if you're Team USA, they got to look at this as like a loss, right? Like, you cannot be, you can't be messing around with teams in the tournament that's so short, in a tournament where the refereeing can always be suspect. You're allowing South Sudan to be down 4, and there's a minute left in this game, right? Anything could happen at this point. And imagine if this happens in the actual Olympic tournament now, and you're going home because you messed around with South Sudan. Jones couldn't get that one to go over LeBron. Look at the ball movement. They're just working to get someone an open shot. They can't get the three-pointer to fall. 2-point game, 49 seconds left, 97-99. US up by 2. What are they going to do here? Who do they go to? Crunch time. You need a bucket. Ball in Steph's hands. No call. See, this is what I mean. You leave it up to the refs. You keep the game close. Are they going to call timeout? No. Oh, yo. What is going on? South Sudan, stand up. Yo, hold on a second here. hold on a second here. I know, listen, I'm doing a live watch. I know how many people are watching. Do people really care who's watching you watch basketball? But like, as I'm watching this game, I was just talking about how you don't want to mess around with these teams, allow them to keep it close because fuckery can happen. And look at what just happened. I said, the refs, you don't know what the refs are going to do. Anthony Davis got fouled on that call, and they didn't call it. South Sudan comes down the other way and knocks down a three to take the lead. Like, this is insane. 100-99, 20 seconds left. Team USA is in a huddle right now, and Steve Kerr is drawing up a play for Team USA down one with 20 seconds left to South Sudan. Anthony Davis is asking the ref, he's like, how's that not a foul? And he's right. I get that. But the people watching this feed, the people who will see this feed know that I was saying it as it happened. Just before it happened, I was talking about how you can't mess around. You can't have these teams keep it close in international basketball because the refereeing is messed up. The way these guys shoot, because it's a closer three-point line, the variance, the degree of difficulty is just way different. You cannot mess around and put yourself in situations like this where you let teams hang around. And now look. So they go to LeBron. LeBron brings it up the floor. They're trying to find Steph. Steph can't get open. It's just LeBron bully ball. LeBron to the cup. Timeout. I guess that's a pretty good play. Why do you need to drop a play when you can just go LeBron bully ball? Yo. I was wondering what play they would draw up. It's like, just let LeBron cook. This is why international ball is so much fun, right? Like, it's South Sudan versus USA, and watching LeBron have to go ham, right? Like, look at Ty Lue. Look at these guys. These guys are like, what's going on right now? It's 101-100 against South Sudan. Nobody expected this. I don't know what the spread was to start this game, but I know at certain points it was 23.5 for Team USA. And now South Sudan has a chance to win the game with 8 seconds left. And this is what I mean. This game is in the hands of the referee. Because if I'm South Sudan, I mean, you're going to try to get an open look, of course. But like Team USA, you cannot bail them out here and just have a dumb foul. You cannot have that happen. Oh, is the feed still up? Yes, the feed is still up, I think. Yes, it is. 8 seconds left. South Sudan with the ball. 101-100. Good look. Drew Holiday, one-on-one defense. Oh, a good look. Oh, that's a foul. Wow. Yo, South Sudan. South Sudan should have won that game. So Jones gets a great look. He misses the floater. He had an open look at the floater. He misses it. They get the offensive rebound. I'd want to see a replay because there could have been a foul there that was not called. Wow. Need to see a replay. Oh, yeah. Waylon Gabriel, he played on the Lakers, right? For a couple years. What a finish. That was a great game. And Halliburton, someone just messaged me because I was talking about how Team USA is not serious, right? And, you see that shot of the bench and Halliburton's laughing and it's like, yeah, that's why you're not playing, right? Like, I think guys don't understand how serious this is. Look at that move. First off, great job again by Anthony Davis. That's why he's so important. Drew Holiday gets beat, right? But Anthony Davis comes to help, and I bet you that throws off the shot just a little. Gabriel almost has a putback. Oh, okay, no call. I'm okay with that, no call. Gabriel almost has a putback on the slam, and if he put that back at the buzzer on a dunk to beat Team USA, that might have been the greatest play in the history of basketball after the 4 bounce. I'm exaggerating, obviously. But my point here is that South Sudan was so close to pulling off the upset. What a great game. That was a great basketball game. I'm just even more excited right now for the Olympics. The USA survive 101 to 100. South Sudan had not one, not two, but three chances at the buzzer. At the buzzer. Team USA survives 101 to 100. What a game. And I am even more excited for the Olympics now. I also need to figure out, like, I want to be able to watch all the basketball. There has to be a way for that, right? Like, is there like I don't know how the things work. I know everyone's focused in on, being able to watch all the Canadian events and watch Team Canada compete and everything. I want to watch all the basketball. So I'm going to spend the next week trying to figure out how I can do that. I think I might have some leads on that yeah. But that was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. South Sudan again. Jones has the shot. He misses a shot. Gabriel almost has a putback dunk. He still has the ball, up fakes again, has it stripped. That was an incredible game. That was a great game. And the one thing that's interesting is Team USA still doesn't have Kevin Durant. So how does that play into things? I don't know. But at the end of the day, LeBron James wins the game. When the game was on the line for Team USA, Team USA gave it to LeBron, and LeBron made the basket. Clutch Gene, right? Clutch Gene. Did Mike ever hit a game-winning layup for Team USA? Is that what the LeBron stands are going to say? Right? I think that's a nice Twitter now, I feel like it's just about trolling. MJ never scored a game winning layup versus South Sudan in an Olympic friendly. Just saying. What a game, though. And I'm sure a lot of people saw this game was going to be on South Sudan versus the U.S. Would this be a good game? U.S. probably going to blow them out. South Sudan doesn't have a chance. South Sudan, I mean, I'm seeing Van Lathan says South Sudan was robbed. Go South Sudan. I mean, listen, I'll say this, man. If they did call a foul on that last second play, there might be arguments, but at the end of the day, I would understand. But credit where credit is due, because the way that game played out, if you look at that, right? Team USA off to a slow start. They couldn't figure it out. They couldn't get it done. And yet all you had happen if you're Team USA is you're down 14 at the half. Steve Kerr decides to start his bench instead of his starters, okay? Puts a bench unit on instead of the starters. They're able to cut the lead to 8. LeBron and Steph come back. They completely take over. LeBron is throwing down dunks. Drew Holiday's diving in the stands, saving it to LeBron. LeBron's throwing down massive dunks. Steph is hitting deep dagger threes. And the game completely flips on that, right? LeBron hits another big shot. Steph takes the lead. And then I'm thinking South Sudan's going to fold. USA was up like 8 points. South Sudan did not give up. They stayed right there. They kept playing. They kept pushing. And it came all the way down to the buzzer. USA able to hang on 101-100. But what an incredible game. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to this episode of the Canada Hoops Daily Live Hangout. We will do it again. When does Canada play? Canada plays tomorrow. So we'll be back up to do that. I'm not going to do a recap pod of this game just because, we're Canada Hoops Daily, not doing a live podcast to react to USA almost losing to South Sudan. But I do think there's a lot of things that can be taken from this, right? I think that if you're South Sudan, you just got a whole lot of confidence heading in to the Olympics because you just showed that you can keep up with Team USA. So now you have no excuse against any other team, right? If you're Team USA, I think you learned a few things. You learn the importance of point guard play because Derek White playing with that second unit and then even in crunch time was able to get good looks and good buckets. And you're seeing the importance of having a true point guard, right? The other part is Joel Embiid should not be getting those major minutes with the starting main unit. And you saw Anthony Davis in with the closing lineup. I feel like you're going to see more of that as the Olympics continue. You're also probably going to see LeBron James and Steph Curry. I'm interested to see how Kevin Durant fits into all this. Either way, so much more time to talk basketball. We'll figure it all out. We will be back to discuss the Canada game tomorrow. Thanks to the people that tuned in and watched this broadcast. One thing I'll ask you is make sure you bless the video with the like. Tell your friends. Join us again as we do these Canada Hoops Daily live hangouts, which you can find on the Sheldon Alexander YouTube page. That's where you can find it. Big shouts to all the people that supported the movement. Bless us with the like, bless us with the share. Really appreciate it. And as always, I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this. This is Canada Hoops Daily live hangout. Until next time, see ya.